Good morning. The economies of airfares are last-minute deals better. Looking for cheap flights is often one of the first things we do when we are planning a trip, but finding one isn't always easy. Are the best deals found at the last minute or months before? Experts say that to find the cheapest flights, we first have to understand how airlines decide their fares. Airlines mostly use computer algorithms to set their prices. These are based on things like how many seats have already been sold, how likely it is that more will sell, and the prices paid in previous years. But according to Hugh Aitken from travel website Skyscanner, the most important thing is demand. How many people want to get on a flight? On some flights, airlines may want to create early demand, and that's when the prices might be low. To encourage passengers to buy tickets when those seats have been sold, the price often goes up. Airlines also think about the reason we are flying because leisure and business travelers have different priorities. According to the website Simple Flying, fares often start high and get lower on common leisure routes, while on common business routes, the prices start low and get higher. Since business passengers often book late and will be less worried about cost. However, because there might be last-minute business passengers on any flight, those last few seats are usually the most expensive and not the cheapest. So the last few weeks before your flight are probably the worst time to book. According to Scott Case of tickets website Going, domestic tickets are usually cheapest 1 to 3 months early, while prices are usually best 2 to 8 months early on international flights. But in the end, at the Keys says, airlines are in the business of making money and getting as much possible for the entire flight, of course. Questions: what do airlines mostly use to set their fares? Are last-minute flights tickets usually cheaper? What's the best time to buy a ticket for an international flight according to Scott Keys? Discussion: what's the best deal you've ever found for an airline ticket? Do you have any tips for finding cheap flights? What are your priorities when looking for a flight ticket? What websites or apps do you usually use when searching for a flight? Have you ever had to change or cancel a flight? Yes, many times. Well, not many times, but sometimes. A further discussion: do you travel for business or leisure more often? How far in advance do you usually plan your trips? Which of your trips took the longest to plan? Do you know anyone who always books things at the last minute? Planning a trip is half the fun of taking it unknown. Do you agree? Well, I think it is true. Planning. Yes, planning. I can say that too, yes.